Science of Mind, written by Ernest Holmes, read by Jean Perkle for April 18th. How to approach the Spirit. If we wish to come to the Spirit for the healing of our wounds, let us come in peace and with spontaneous joy, for the Spirit is joy. Let us come with thanksgiving also, for a thankful heart is in harmony with life. But we must come in quiet confidence, with an open and receptive mind, a believing heart, naturally, sanely, and expectantly. In this way, we are entering the portals of reality, clad in garments of righteousness. We often think what we require is money, friends, and physical healing. After these things do those who are outside in knowledge of the law seek, and they do well, for all these things. But they are the effects of right relationships to life. All people need some form of healing. Most people are unhappy. Few have any realizations of permanent peace. We seek fragments when the whole is at hand. How illogical to think that anything can rise higher than its source. The universe is a perfect, undivided whole, and healing can take place only when one is unified with it. How can anyone then be healed in part? Let us seek wholeness above all else. If we would come to the universal wholeness, we must approach it through the law of its own nature. This means that we must give our undivided attention to the spiritual unit back of all things. Since all else is included within this unit, we find our particular good only through unity with life. The conscious unity makes our mind receptive to completion, since life itself is complete. The perception is always an inner light, for the individual could use only such knowledge as he inwardly possesses. In reality, we know God, or truth, only as ourselves embody God, or truth. And since it is impossible to embody anything outside ourselves, this knowledge must be an inner light. The truth itself is infinite, but we only embody the infinite in degree. To the degree that we do embody reality, we become poised and powerful. The purpose of science of mind. The whole purpose of the science of mind is to reconcile the apparent separation of the spiritual world, which must be perfect, with the material world, which appears imperfect. The spiritual world is the cause of the material. We are spiritual beings governed by mental law. Only that world can appear to us which we mentally perceive. Man's experience is the logical outcome of his inner vision. His horizon is limited to the confines of his own consciousness. Whenever this consciousness lacks a true perspective, its outward expression will lack proper harmony. This is why we are taught to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Since no one lives by proxy, but each unto himself, every individual must make the test in his own soul. And Jesus knew their thoughts, Matthew 12:25. And Jesus knew their thoughts. That is, he had an extended vision which enabled him to know what others were thinking. He had healed a man possessed of unclear thoughts, and the priest had reasoned within themselves that his power to do this was of the evil one. Jesus' understanding was in their minds, told them that a house divided against itself cannot stand, and that he cast out evil by the power of evil. Then evil would be a house divided against itself. But he said, if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God is come unto you. We cannot do good while we continue to do evil, nor can we heal evil except by the power of good. To all sincere students of spiritual science, this lesson is a guidepost, pointing to the fact that the thought of good must ever overcome any thought that is less than good. By the presence of good, evil is cast out. Just as the presence of light, the darkness disappears. Good thoughts and a good harvest, Matthew 7:17 and 18. A good tree produces good fruit, so good thoughts bear a harvest of good deeds, while evil consumes itself in the flames of its own fire. If a man's life produces good deeds, then the man is good himself, and this no matter what his particular religious belief may or may not be. The mouth speaks from the heart. It is impossible for a man to conceal himself. In every act, word, or gesture, he stands revealed as he is, and not as he would have himself appear to be. From the universe, nothing is or can be hidden. The very walls have ears, and the mirror of life cannot help reflecting back to us that which we really are. Jesus plainly tells us that we are held accountable for the very words we speak. No man ever lived who placed a greater power in the word. By our words, we are justified or condemned. The word may be considered to be the complete thought and act of man. There must be a thought before there can be an act, and a thinker before there can be any thought. The thinker condemns or justifies himself through his thought. The Father, Mother, God, Matthew 12:47 and 48. It is related that while Jesus was talking, he was told that his mother and brethren waited to speak with him. But he answering said unto him and told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? He then told them that whoever does the will of God is his mother, sister, and brother. We are not to suppose by this that he did not care for his earthly parents or friends. He was explaining that anyone who lives in harmony with the truth automatically becomes the brother, sister, or the mother of all. This is a lesson in the brotherhood of man. God is the androgyny principle, the father, the mother of all. The earthly parent symbolizes heavenly parentage. Jesus was a consciously cosmic soul who recognized his unity with all. He knew that love must become universal before it can reach its maturity. Hence he said that all who live in harmony with the truth are brothers in it. To him who hath shall be given, Matthew 13:12. Whoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whoever hath not, for him shall be taken away, even that he hath.